From the Monster Jam Studios, I'm Scott Jordan with this edition of the Weekly Update. 4-point series were in action last weekend as we continue on the road to World Finals 21. Only 5 superstars are guaranteed an automatic opportunity at a World Championship, so the pressure is on and every competition counts. Now let's get to the action. We start in Glendale, Arizona for Stadium Championship Series Yellow, and on this series only Ryan Anderson and Tyler Menega have won an event championship. So the question continues to linger, who will step up, or will anyone step up at all and take out Team Gravedigger? Charlie Pauken and Camden Murphy were up to the task early as they would meet in the racing finals. Both would get out of the berm quick, and at the halfway point, Monster Mud hits the pod, and Camden Murphy with the advantage. Bakugan across the finish line first, but look at the front 2 BKT tires. Both do not hit the ramp, so a 5-second penalty on Bakugan Dragonoid, and Charlie Pauken gets his 3rd racing win of the season. In the Great Clip Skills Challenge, Ryan Anderson, being Ryan Anderson here, first attempt, gets a bicycle, just takes that truck for a ride all the way around like a J-hook, getting slinky with it, and he was not done. Second attempt, another bicycle right on the sidewall, flips it back around on the other sidewall, sticks the landing, and son of a digger with another skills win. In freestyle, Charlie Pauken doing his best to keep another championship away from Ryan Anderson, gets a beautiful backflip, then watch the jump off the pod, and the wheel then literally falls off the wagon. Monster Mutt on 3 wheels wins freestyle, and then throws in a Chucky dance for good measure. Ryan Anderson doing it again, gets his 6th event championship of the season, and continues on as a series points leader as we take a look at the points here on yellow. Now a 30-point lead over Tyler Menega, Charlie Pauken 3rd, Camden Murphy in 4th, and Barney Musauer rounding out the top 5 in the points. Stadium Championship Series Yellow travels to Angel Stadium in Anaheim, California this weekend with 2 events, one on Saturday and one on Sunday. Both will be broadcast on CNBC. Stars of Stadium Championship Series Red brave the frozen tundra in Minnesota with 2 events at US Bank Stadium where the snow fell on the streets of Minneapolis and the temperature dropped to 8 below 0. Luckily, it was much warmer inside the stadium, so we go to the racing final on Saturday night where Overboard Motorsports got off to a great start. It was Jamie Garner and Cole Menard in the final. Overboard takes the whole shot. Jamie had the fastest time throughout the entire bracket, and Cole had a wreck at the finish of a previous round, but came back here and had to play some catch-up. The final turn, Overboard goes too hard, gets a great save, but ends up on the lid, and Cole Menard gets the racing win. In freestyle, John Gordon came into Mini looking for his first freestyle win since Atlanta Motor Speedway in 2021, and he would launch Bad Company with huge air, then a vertical sky wheelie on the backside. He sends Bad Company again, a side slap on the landing, and a sidewall save into a stoppie, and then onto the 8-pack, lands it, and John Gordon is your freestyle winner. But the event belonged to the Professor Tom Mentz getting the championship treatment in Minneapolis. On Sunday, Gravedigger's Adam Anderson got the racing win, but it came at a cost. Look at the smoke coming out of the back of the truck. The motor went bye-bye, and Gravedigger was done for the day. In the Great Clip Skills Challenge, Bryce Kenny with a big popper off the pod. Great catch, balance control. Stoppie keeps it right there in time for a moonwalk. He goes back up the pod, and at the home of Great Clips, Bryce Kenny gets the win in the Great Clip Skills Challenge. But different day, same result. Tom Mentz goes back-to-back in Minneapolis and takes a victory lap. 2 event championships on the weekend, and with that, there was a big swing in the series point standings as Max D is now leading the way. Todd LeDuc jumps to 2nd, and Adam Anderson tumbles down to 3rd. The Red Series roars into Arlington, Texas this weekend with 1 event Saturday night at AT&T Stadium. For tickets, go to monsterjam.com. Arena Championship Series West was at Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado last weekend, and we start with the action on Saturday afternoon. In time racing, Brandon Vincent taking the first turn nice and tight, and then on the final turn, whips Gravedigger around, sends it across the ramp, and he is your racing winner. In the donut competition, more Gravedigger, round and round and round goes the black and green wrecking machine, 7 revolutions, and Brandon Vincent with another competition win. He started the weekend on Friday night with an event championship, and he would get his 2nd in a row on Saturday. Saturday night, he would try to go for 3 in a row in freestyle. Gravedigger coming in for the 8-pack, pushes off to the right, and some gainer action there. He would stick the landing and come back for one final jump. Vincent with the big air, the freestyle win, and the event championship. Tristan England would add a championship to his resume on Sunday as we take a look at the series point standings. Brandon Vincent, though, been on an absolute tear lately, now a 36-point lead over Earthshaker David Olford at 336, rounds out your top three on the West Series. Up next, they ride at the Paycom Center in Oklahoma City with 3 events beginning on Saturday afternoon. Arena Championship Series Central was at the home of the Pittsburgh Penguins PPG Paints Arena with 4 events. Kristen Anderson had the series points lead coming into Pittsburgh, and she would look to add to it on Friday night. In the Great Clips 2-Wheel Skills Challenge, Gravedigger comes off the pod with a reverse popper, and then she sits the truck right on the wheelie bar. That is vintage Kristen Anderson. And then the wheelie all the way across the pod and some air to put the stamp on it and get the win. Kristen Anderson is your event champion. On Sunday, it was Blake Granger getting in on the fun. In the Great Clips 2-Wheel Skills Challenge, he comes off the pod with a stoppie, then he goes to work, edging the truck back and forth, and then the moonwalk back up top. Check out the control from Blake Granger. Finally sets it back down. All 4 BKT tires right there, and he gets the win. In freestyle, Max D trying to secure the event championship, gets huge air across the pod, then comes back around on the other side slap on the landing, and then the double log stack skies the truck and over end jump. And the beautiful landing. Max D is your event champion, his second of the weekend. So now let's look at the updated points. Granger sitting in 3rd place, but Kristen Anderson continues to do just enough. She remains the points leader in the Central. A lot on this series, though, going all the way down to Zach Gardner. Each one of those 6 superstars with a huge opportunity to take that series. The Central now heads to Digger Country in Raleigh, North Carolina, with the PNC Arena 2 events beginning Saturday night. Arena Championship Series East had this past weekend off, but let's catch up on the season point standings. Cody Saucier has been dominant in racing, which has been the difference here so far. But Armando Castro hot on his heels, as well as Weston Anderson. Those 3 have combined for 14 event championships. And don't forget about Brianna Mahan as well. She is well within reach, and there is a long way to go to World Finals. The E-Series back in action this weekend at the DCU Center in Worcester, Massachusetts, with 4 events beginning Friday night. And this weekend, Team Throttle Monster gets in on the series as Jurassic Attack and Rockwell Red will be in action. My guest this week is coming off a dominant performance in Providence, Rhode Island, and currently sits 2nd in points on Arena Championship Series East. It is my pleasure to welcome in El Toro Loco's Armando Castro. Armando, thanks so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me, man. Super excited to be on here and talk about what we love, man, Monster Jam.
You are a world champion. Let's talk about that. Back in 2019, you were crowned as the World Finals Speedster Racing Champion. So you are now forever enshrined in the record books of Monster Jam. How does that make you feel now to be a crowned world champion and looking ahead to World Finals? You know, what do you think your chances are of doing it again?
Winning the Speedster Racing Champion, no one can take that from me. At the end of the day, I'm forever in the books. It was awesome to bring the Triple Threat Series to the World Finals, something that the fans have not seen before. So to be able to dominate that competition and take the championship, man, it means so much to me. And being on tour, man, with Cody Saucier and Brandon Mahan, so many veterans, and these guys and girls are so good at what they do, and they don't make it easy on me, man. They don't make it easy. But at the end of the day, I'm still a fan. I'm still sitting. I'm watching and learning, and just I'm right there with them. And once they make a quick mistake, I'm right there to dominate and win the competition. So we're here.
Well, let's talk about your series. I had Cody Saucier on the Weekly Update a few weeks ago, and there's a lot of talk coming into this year about Weston Anderson, his debut season. So the Gravedigger hype train is out in full effect. And with Cody, you have a guy that's been to World Finals before, also Brianna Mahan in Whiplash. Do you feel overlooked at all, or do you feel like you're right where you need to be?
I always felt like the underdog every tour I've been on. So, and I like it. I'm right there. I'm kind of in the shadows of everybody, but I'm hanging in with everybody else. Cody Saucier, Brian Mahan, Weston. Like I said, they're so good at what they do. They don't sure make it on easy on me, but Weston Anderson, man, he's doing a hell of a job this first year, and we're roommates. So once we come back to the room, we talk about what he can do different, and we're all friends off the track. But, once this Hammond comes on this game time, everybody wants that automatic bid to the Monster Jam World Finals. And like I said, we're sitting 2nd place. I think we're down 14 or 17 points. And we're going to crank it up, turn up the heat this weekend in Worcester, Massachusetts. And we'll see what happens. Hopefully we can take that #1 spot.
So every week on the Update Show, Armando, I unveil the power rankings for the week. I don't know if you have seen where you're at this week, but I'm not going to spoil it for you if you haven't. But I just want to say this, 6 years into the sport, you're World Finals champion, and when you look at the power rankings, you see, names like Anderson, Menega, Mens-Leduc, and there's Armando Castro right there. So how does that make you feel that you are in that conversation as one of the best drivers in the sport?
Man, it's awesome. If you would tell the 6-year-old me, as a kid, as a fan of the sport, that I'm gonna be up with the top names of the industry, man, it's just I wouldn't believe it. I'm living my childhood dream in front of everybody and hope to inspire, this youth. Me being Hispanic means so much more to me because I'm one of the few Latinos in the industry. So just to be able to motivate and just be the great role model I can to all the young kids, no matter where you come from, you got a dream, work very hard, and man, if I can do it, anybody can do it.
I love the confidence, so I'm going to put that confidence on the spot here with one final question. When the dust has cleared and the 5 automatic bids to World Finals have been locked in that field of 24, does Armando Castro win Arena Championship Series East?
I think this is a year for Toro Loco and Armando Castro. We'll see.
Looking forward to it. Armando will look to take the series points lead in the East when they roll into Worcester, Massachusetts on Friday night. Thanks, Armando. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you so much, Scott. Nice seeing you, man.
Let's take a look at this week's power rankings. Ryan Anderson continuing his stranglehold on the top spot. Tom Meents back up to number 2. And Brandon Vincent, the biggest riser this week, he goes up 3 spots to number 5 after a dominant performance in Denver. Cody Saucier drops 3 spots on his bye week down to number 9. And Camden Murphy, Bakugan Dragonoid rounds out the top 10. For the full edition of the power rankings, head on over to monsterjam.com. We are well on our way to Monster Jam World Finals 21, and the road has been paved thus far with both victory and defeat. But 5 series champions, along with 19 other superstars, will have the opportunity to become immortalized in the Monster Jam history books as a world champion. 4 competitions over 2 days, 4 world champions will be crowned, and we want to see you there, so get your tickets right now at monsterjam.com. You can register to win the VIP trip of a lifetime there as well, which includes round-trip airfare, hotel stay, and great seats to the biggest event of the year. Join me in Monster Jam's finest at Camping World Stadium, May 21st and 22nd for World Finals 21. Social media is always a great way to find us. If you want to see your posts up on the video board at our live events, make sure you use the hashtag MonsterJam on your posts. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget to mark it down on your calendars. Our debut on CNBC is Saturday, March 26th, beginning at noon Eastern with a 3-hour block. That is round 1, 2, and 3, starting with the action in Oakland. Monster Jam on CNBC all season long. Now this week I head to Angel Stadium in Anaheim, so get ready for some Disneyland pictures on my Instagram and some incredible action with Stadium Championship Series Yellow. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you right here next week on the Weekly Update.